You ever meet someone who gets pure joy out of making your life miserable? That was my landlord, Giselle. She smiled like butter wouldn't melt in her mouth, but behind that polite little grin was a woman who lived for control. Control over her neighbours, her rules, her tenants, and me. But she picked the wrong tenant to play her games with, because by the time I moved out, her world, her little kingdom, was gone. And all I had to do was stay calm. If you've ever had a power-tripping landlord or boss who thought they could walk all over you, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. Because this is the story of how I turned months of manipulation into one of the most satisfying acts of legal revenge you'll ever hear. Years ago, I rented a duplex from a genuinely kind owner, an older gentleman who treated his tenants fairly, the kind of man who actually read your lease before he signed it. I put down my deposit, paid my first month's rent, and thought I was stepping into a peaceful new chapter. But peace doesn't last long when your next-door neighbour is a self-proclaimed rule enforcer. Her name was Giselle, the on-site landlord, a tenant who got half off her rent for managing the property, and she hated me, not annoyed, not indifferent, pure, deep-seated, irrational hate. At first, I couldn't understand why. I was quiet, paid on time, kept to myself. But from day one, she treated me like I'd personally declared war on her. She'd pound on my door if my TV was on past 10:01 p.m. She'd scold my friends for parking an inch over her imaginary property line. Every maintenance request took weeks, sometimes months. And when I dropped my rent in the usual slot, magically, it would go missing. She'd smile while saying things like, "You really should be more careful. Late fees can add up, you know." Every word, every look screamed power trip. And here's the twist. Later I found out why she hated me. She'd wanted her friend to move into my unit, but the owner rejected her application because her credit was trash. So Giselle took that rejection personally. To her, I had stolen something, so she was going to make me pay for it, one petty, miserable day at a time. Fast forward to the final months of my lease. I could see the finish line, just a few more weeks and I'd be free. But that's when the water heater started leaking. A small puddle at first, then a steady drip. I did the responsible thing, dried it, put towels down, and emailed Giselle immediately. No response. A week later, nothing. I sent a follow-up, polite but firm. "Hey Giselle, just wanted to make sure you saw this." The leak's getting worse. Still silence. By week 3, I was done being ignored. I sent a third email. "I had a plumber friend take a look. He says it needs immediate attention." Finally, she replied, "I'll look into it." That's it. No timeline, no repair order, just enough to pretend she'd done her job. And then one afternoon, I ran into her while she was watering her flowers, her perfect little garden of control. I mentioned the water heater again. She didn't even look up, just said, "I hope you're keeping it clean in there. I'll be inspecting it personally when you move out. And if you want that deposit back, it better pass a white glove inspection." That tone, that smug little smirk. It hit me. She was running out the clock. She wanted that leak to ruin the floor so she could charge me for it later. Every ignored email, every delay, every "I'll look into it," it was part of her plan. And that's when something in me clicked. You know that feeling when someone's been pushing your buttons for months and suddenly you stop reacting. You just smile because you realize they've already lost? Yeah, that feeling. A week before my final rent was due, I saw the property owner walking the neighborhood. He was friendly, old school, and crucially, Giselle wasn't with him. Opportunity. I walked up, smiled, and said, "Hey, I just wanted to thank you for renting to me. I've really appreciated it." We chatted a bit. Then I asked casually, "Would you have a few minutes to do my move-out inspection personally?" Just to save time later, he smiled. "Sure, why not?" Perfect. We walked through my place together. He was impressed. "Looks great. You've really kept this in good shape." Then we got to the water heater. I paused dramatically. There's one thing I should show you. I opened the closet door. The floor was damp, towels soaked. I told him I'd been trying to manage it, showed him the towels I'd replaced every day. He frowned. Did you tell Giselle about this? Yes, I said, and handed him a folder. Printed emails, dates, times, every ignored message, every empty promise. His face turned beet red. Are there other things that haven't been fixed? I quietly handed over another set of emails. The room went silent, just the faint drip of the leak behind us. Finally, he said, I think we're fine releasing your full security deposit. And that's when the idea hit me. I smiled politely. I really appreciate that. You know, my last rent payment is due next week, $750. How about instead of me paying you $750 and you refunding $500, I just write a check for $250 and call it even? He shrugged. Sure, that's fine with me. He signed off on the paperwork right there. Ladies and gentlemen, checkmate. A few days later, I slipped my $250 check into the same slot I'd always used. That night, my front door exploded with pounding. Giselle, red-faced, trembling, eyes wide with rage. Where's the rest of your rent check? I'll have you evicted if you don't pay in full right now. I didn't even flinch, just looked at her, calm as ever. Oh, the $750? The owner already did the inspection and signed off. He agreed to deduct my deposit from the rent. You can talk to him if you need confirmation. Her eyes widened like I'd spoken another language. Her face twisted, confusion, disbelief, fury. That's not how things are done. I have final say over inspections. You have to follow the rules like everyone else. Her voice cracked as spit flew from her mouth. I could see her whole world collapsing, the illusion of control she'd built brick by brick. I smiled. Then take it up with him. Now, if you'll excuse me, get off my porch. And with that, I closed the door. Slowly, quietly. Just enough time to watch her brain short-circuit through the glass pane. That image, her frozen face, halfway between rage and realization, will forever live rent-free in my mind. A few days later, the owner stopped by again. He asked if he could fix the water heater before the next tenant moved in. I let him in and we chatted. He mentioned casually, "My daughter's moving in after you leave. She'll be taking over the on-site manager duties." I paused. "Oh, what about Giselle?" He smiled. "She decided she can't afford the full rent anymore." "She's moving out?" I didn't say a word. But inside, every ounce of stress, every sleepless night, every ignored email melted away. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't break a rule. I just let her hang herself with her own arrogance. And when karma finally came knocking, it collected with interest. There's a kind of power in patience, the kind that drives petty people insane. Because while they're busy plotting your downfall, you're quietly building your proof, your plan, and your moment. Giselle thought she was untouchable. Turns out she was just one signature away from eviction. If that revenge gave you chills, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying karma you've ever seen play out? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories where justice isn't just served, it's strategically delivered.